News Today YouTube channel. Some days back, in fact, February 25th, the presidential election held, and Peter Obi, after the announcement of the president-elect in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Peter Obi was of the opinion, and most Nigerians out there were of the opinion, that his mandate was stolen and INEC did not do the right thing. Hence, he said to file a petition. But for him to achieve that, he's supposed to have some sort of source document to prove that that mandate was stolen. 21 days was given for him to file that particular petition, or else he should forget about reclaiming of the mandate. His lawyers began the process to got an injunction from the court for them to have the source document, of which on the March 3rd they were not given any hearing. They didn't obey the court injunction. There was another prayer that was made again for the same purpose, of which also the INEC refused to give them hearing. Finally, with the help of all the mandates, INEC finally gave them the opportunity. Even at that, they asked for nine states, of which they did not give them that 9 states. They only gave them 2. But as it is, within the 21 days, Peter Obi has to do something fast, or else we'll forget about the mandate as we speak. Mixed reaction have trade on social media as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, finally files a petition at the election tribunal to challenge the outcome of the presidential election. The presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was declared winner by INEC after the presidential election on the 25th of February. However, several controversies, including allegations of rigging, have trailed the result. Peter Obi, who came third at the presidential election, vowed to challenge the result declared by INEC at the court of law. He also stated that he will prove to Nigerians that he won the election. The update about the filing of his petition was announced by the chief spokesperson of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, talking about Dr. Yunusa Tanko, in a statement that reads, "It is official. The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has filed a petition to the Presidential Elections Tribunal in Abuja. The process of reclaiming the people's mandate has started." Dr. Yunusa Tanko, chief spokesperson, Labour Party PCC. Of course, Nigerians have started reacting to this, judging the fact that some few hours ago, the elections thus far cut across the nation have been announced, and looks as if it's almost like one-party system. APC is almost reclaiming all their mandates cut across the regions, particularly the northern part, while PDP is losing some of their mandates, like Osun still holding forth, like Akwa Ibom is still holding forth, Delta is still holding forth, and also Oyo. But subsequently, other states are losing back to APC, and even the woman elect that all of us were so sure, Adamawa woman elect, were so sure, because judging the result, we were so sure that she has won. They called it inconclusive. Adamawa now is inconclusive, so we don't know when they eventually hold another election to that. So with APC sweeping the whole federation when it comes to the issue of the states, when it comes to the issue of the states election, gubernatorial election, it gives a lot of fears. But let's just hope and pray that as this process begins, more info will be coming up. Please, if you have any information that will help Peter Obi and his legal team, please forward it to the right quarters. While Nigerians have been reacting to this in no particular order, let's pick the reactions of Nigerians concerning this matter very quickly. This one here says, "It's a welcoming news. Let the legal war begins. We shall succeed. Amen." Don't forget that even the legal you're talking about, the ruling party is APC. We just hope and pray that this whole legal firework
and state houses of assembly is not an election, but a movie script played by INEC as a vision that will never help reset Nigeria as a people. So therefore, we call on INEC to cancel the elections in places where irregularities were performed with evidence to show. These cancellations should give birth to fresh elections so that the people can return the nation to stability. We use this opportunity to also call on President Muhammadu Buhari to disband the transition committee he set up to hand over power to another democratic administration, because the election that produced the man called Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president-elect is not proper and will never be recognized by the Nigerian people. The disbandment by Buhari will go a long way to help redeem the image of our democracy and rebuild our political stability at this time in history. It is a total waste of time and public funds for a transition committee to transfer power to a fake, democratic, impersonating, and undemocratic president-elect. President Buhari, sir, you can also use this disbandment as a way to create the solid pockets of peace for Nigeria and its people before you return power come May 2023. We call on INEC to also cancel the elections held in Lagos for the governorship. Fellow Nigerians, this should also interest you to know that the fight for a true democracy for Nigeria is no more going to be a thing Nigerians alone can make a reality. This is because we have decided to call on the international court to step into the matter before Nigeria is turned into a political war zone that the world will not be able to control. If Buhari's administration refuses to obey the laws set aside by the Electoral Act, we shall have no option but to seek redress at the International Court of Justice. We are talking about the ICC, because for the VMCII, these political wickedness are also seen as criminal crimes that will attract criminal investigation by an independent court of international competent jurisdiction. We shall invite the ICC by rolling a special petition to them to flash a red light on settling the case of the fake results INEC refused to have a review upon that the viewers have provided by the laws of our Electoral Act. It's time to honestly reconnect INEC back on track as an independent agency of government. Your redemption is very key if you wish to have a positive participation of youths in other future elections, because it is very clear that the just concluded governorship and state assembly elections were protectively boycotted by the youths. That is why a low turnout was recorded, and INEC, as an independent body, must have a review of the presidential election results so it can declare Mr. Peter Obi as president-elect, as the choice voted as president by the Nigerian people.
On the 18th of March, 2023. What actually transpired wasn't an election. What happened was a miscarriage of electoral justice. All we see flying around over the conventional and social media is an affront on our democracy. The APC administration has succeeded in plunging this country into a political aberration. Before the international community, Nigeria is now seen as a laughingstock. We are seizing this opportunity to call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to disband and call for a total overhaul of the entire electoral body called Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, under the supervision of Professor Mahmood Yakubu. They have performed woefully. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has succeeded in debasing that institution. There is no longer credibility. We are asking him to throw in the towel or face the Nigerian people. Secondly, as an addendum to that, we are also calling on the INEC chairman. Last week, when we had our World Press Conference, we gave them 48 hours to allow our lawyers access. As a matter of that, they only allowed our lawyers access to 2 irrelevant states to inspect the materials. The key states that we are hoping to use to upturn the election, they have persistently and consistently refused our lawyers. We are giving them 24 hours from now. 24 hours. If not, they shall meet the Nigerian people, occupy the entire INEC offices in this country. Secondly, we are also using this opportunity to address the spokesperson of the PCC, Bayo Onanuga. His incendiary statements and comments in trying to divide Nigerians along ethnic lines and religious lines. This was the same thing that happened in Rwanda in 1994, when Hutus began to divide, using divisive statements, incendiary statements, inflammatory statements on the Tutsi, calling them cockroaches, and that led to a genocide that lasted for over 100 days, between April 17th to July 15th, 1994, that killed over 800,000 Tutsi. We don't want that in Nigeria. We are calling upon him to rescind his words that are divisive. Nigerians are equal in any part of the country, and in fact, Nigerians are supposed to live anywhere without the fear of tribalism. Thirdly, security agencies are complicit of all that transpired during the gubernatorial election. We are calling for a total overhaul of the security agency, being led by the Inspector General of Police. By law, his tenure is expired. He's not supposed to remain there. We don't know on what law they are operating in this country. Lastly, we are seizing this opportunity to call on the current government for an interim government to be put in place to enable effective and smooth judicial adjudication on the presidential election. Because as it stands now, the president-elect of this country is His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. The one illegally declared by INEC cannot be given power come May 29. And that is why we are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to constitute an interim government to hand over power to, so that that interim government can superintend over any of the litigations to create a smooth sail of the presidential litigations ahead. The battle to salvage Nigeria is a battle of no retreat.